Hello, everyone, and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We are here at May 27, 1943. Let's see what action we got going today. Of course, we're still unloading troops here at Dili. I did not fire off an attack, though he will probably bombard us. I I don't know how attacks work off of ships, where if you are unloading and you have no supplies in the summary information, if because you're offloading from a ship, you'll naturally fight like as if you have supplies, or if you'll fight with a malice of no supply. I haven't tested that. Maybe I should have done it just for test purposes. But assuming we need supplies or that supplies will keep us from having a malice, I prefer to just wait. It'll be fine. We'll get the supplies we need. We'll be all right. Now, he's getting less and less guns firing back. We're losing basically no troops unloading, so all those things are good. Um, I'm I'm doing what I like to do and switching up some bombing targets, so we'll see how some of these things go. I shuffled some aircraft in the Solomons so that we could do better ASW search. Um, so yeah, I made I did a few things, housekeeping things to hopefully get ourselves. I mean, might as well maximize our assets, use them or optimize the use. If you want to call it overkill, I mean, the Allies against the Germans certainly took advantage of overkill, but we're in a similar situation. But it's not like the Allies would say, "Well, I mean, it's not really fair. We're being gamey against the Germans or Japanese, so it's not. Let's not take advantage of these assets." So the game, just like historical, provides us with resources. I would like to use them if I'm able and if I am doing my job properly. Now, yesterday we were supposed to hit Mole Mine, but we did not. So basically, I left everything that was coming to Mole Mine targeting that, but then everything that had hit Rangoon, we shifted to Chiang Mai. I think Mole Mine will be pretty trashed. Now we, pardon me, we are taking damage, so it's possible that we will have some ops losses. But I don't want to be discouraged from these attacks that... Oh, I lost the Liberator. That's not ideal. Can't seem to get ahead on the number of aircraft. I feel like I lose as much as I get replacements for. On some of these, like the heavy bombers, I mean, I do use them a lot. So it's possible that I'm putting myself in that position to have to replace them frequently. Yeah, I redirected some Southwest Pacific air assets, so I'm not sure if we're going to take advantage of that or what. But it is the PM. It is afternoon. Maybe we'll maybe we'll fire off some air attacks in this area now. You know, the morning storms move on and the aircraft start flying. Yeah, this is this is what I was hoping for. You get some significant damage on the base. Yeah, another good raid. So, hang on, 4,000 feet. I better check what I'm doing here. Okay, that might be ground attack. Elevate, what is it? Elevation? No, that's not right. Altitude, that's the word. So I'll look at that. Now, we didn't, it may not have, it may not have negatively affected us, but not yet anyway. But it's pretty significant, the hits. Um, it goes to show that getting in low is ideal for maximum damage. But some places you just can't do that because if you he's got enough anti-aircraft that if you get too low, you're looking for trouble. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, but yeah, like I say, I'm gonna increase the altitude because that's a little precarious there. Mm, all right. So if we can get some supplies unloaded, maybe we can do an attack this turn. Okay, we do have more things coming in. These are base force stuff, like engineers and so forth. All right, yeah, look at all this stuff. Not all of it's combat capable, but look at this, 123 plus 60 plus 28 plus 13. We've got some artillery here. I think we're ready to go. We'll just have to check on our supply levels and okay. So I wanted to take these bases. I don't think my raiders, just a small unit of raiders, can take some of these others. I mean, I can certainly take anything that's a dot base probably, but like I'm not gonna be able to grab Jalouit and some of these others. I may just stop with this for now because we're about to do an assault up in Kwajalein anyway. Okay, I'm having difficulty with some of these bases in the South Pacific, getting um, aviation support. But more than that, I just want to get these bases built up because we're it's so easy to overstack them in the administrative side. So every time we get a new expansion on our air bases, it's so helpful. A couple small ships. So I don't usually stop here when there's no real action, but taking a look here, he lost 3 aircraft to ops here, and we lost 13. And I think, well, I was going to say a large number of these are probably from low-level bombings, but I'm not so sure. Like the Skytrains, of course not. Now these may be flying in the South Pacific too low and taking ops damage. But these fortresses, for example, those were out flying out of Darwin. Those shouldn't have crashed necessarily. um, so yeah, it's just a lot of aircraft though. I'm not impressed, uh, or I'm impressed, but for the wrong reasons. So I just wanted to point that out. But also while we're here, let's just take a look at this. You can see for yourself, and we'll be jumping on to May 28th. Okay, it's May 28th, 1943. We're getting, of course, closer to the end of May. Still unloading there at Dilley. I set my ships to bombard. I didn't see the heavy cruiser. Oh no, we are bombarding, but this is continuing to offload. Um, the reason I'm bombarding is because we're gonna do an attack today. So we'll see how this goes, but I haven't seen the bombardment happen yet. Wow. He's really coming after us with ASW assets. Um, we didn't get into any of these. We did fire 2 torpedoes, but as we fired um, to escape. And here's our bombardment. We should be able to take this base today, because this should beat up the enemy enough to kick them out. And then we will. Now, of course, we're damaging a base that we are going to um, have to repair, but um, yeah, that's the downside of doing this. But the upside is it helps our troops, but we're also bombing. We'll see. It is what it is. Okay, so one dud, one successful torpedo, and that one sinks it. It's a small cargo ship though, so now I'm seeing that he's snooping at us down there in the East Indies, but what are you gonna do, right? We're entering the underbelly of the Japanese Empire, and they're bound to have, and they know it, so they're gonna start checking on our movements and things. these are just the usual bombings. All right, this is Wu Chang. Hmm. Yeah, I'm formulating a thought, and yes, it's dangerous. All right. Yeah, I decided to stretch the legs of the Hudson threes. They've been sitting there on naval attack for some time, waiting for Japanese ships to come close. Um, so yeah, we're putting them into some action. A lot of recon. Yeah, but he's reconning us too. All right. This is Roy Namur. We're just wow. Well, it is severe storms, but that's pretty terrible. That's way better. Getting those supply hits also. And he's likely to not try to stick his neck out with supply ships to the marshals, but who knows? He could try for a fast transport or something like that. Unload supplies and then bug out. Ooh, come on. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm okay. Ooh, oil cargo. That means there's not very much oil, but still, that's this is key to sink a ship like this. And it's crazy that a ship carrying oil is not escorted. 3 shell hits, 2 torpedo hits, that should sink. Let's listen. Yeah. Okay. So we're having a successful day while we had a lackluster night. We're having a successful day sinking. This is the third, I think, cargo ship. One was just a light cargo ship, but all right, we're gonna get into the land combat, and hopefully secure Dili today. And then I'd like to bring in some fighters ASAP um, to fly cap right over the base. And here we go. He's bombarding us, but you can see here his combat value has dropped tremendously. Let's and it looks like he's dropped ours a little bit. Oh, I didn't see. We didn't. There was no visual damage, but here's our deliberate attack. I could have even done I should have maybe had tanks chase him or something, or this armored regiment, but that's fine. What I'm gonna do is actually corner him into a box anyway. Yeah. So he retreated, allowed him. In fact, he didn't even everybody retreat. So um, yeah, we'll have to. We did take the base though, so that means we can start shipping, bringing in aircraft and all other things. So he retreated one unit. Uh, I didn't notice which one, because I wasn't really um, paying close enough attention, obviously. Uh, but that's a lot of casualties. If his regiment is what's, or the guard unit is what's left, we should easily kick that out and secure it. But next time I will also have my tanks chase. No, that's maybe one tank chase and maybe the armored regiment, maybe the tank battalion chase. The armored regiment will move down this road, and because it can move pretty quickly down even dirt roads, and then we'll be able to finish off whatever's left here. But looking good. Oh, the other unit retreated. Okay, that's fair. So that's cool. I look at it like a rear guard action. They held us off long enough for everybody to get out of there, and then they pulled out, which would have precluded a pursuit anyway. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know that that's the intention of the mechanic, but that's how we'll play it as. That's how we'll say it went. Okay, we took Tabar Island without a fight. Let's look here. Yeah, VMF 111. I don't know. What are you? A lot of ops losses. Um, okay, so we captured Dili. Korea is port size one. These are bases in the back, but hey, it's a couple points here and there. Um, Essex. Ooh, Essex might be. Um, I'm taking this to mean that they are at uh, San Diego. I have not been paying attention to their journey, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so Namatanai, that's good. We're gonna start marching up to Kavieng, so it'll be nice to have upgrades, things ready to go. We've got a field artillery. I think these were 75s, and now they're gonna be maybe 105s, but yeah. We got a pilot run escaped. Uh, Okay, these three cargo ships we sank, and then we got a couple of our own arrived, and this finally the Wasp's fighter squadron has arrived in Cairns many months after we accidentally forgot it and left it behind. Maybe not many months, but certainly several weeks. So that was a silly error, but we're ready to have the fighter group or squadron join up with the rest of the air complement on the Wasp. And actually, that I think the VMF 111 that I was looking at is a replacement fighter squadron we had on the Wasp that we can now move back on the ground. And we had way less losses than recently, so that's good. Dina Babs, so basically recon stuff. And then we lost this Wildcat that we know about, B-24D1 and a Dakota 3. 2 killed. Yeah, we had the pilot on the Marine fighter die, and I guess the other one, I don't know where he's at yet. Let's look here. 13-10-3. Yeah, this one here was as a big one, and that was carrying oil. Now it might have been carrying supplies as well. Maybe it wasn't all oil, but it can carry 300 oil, and that's what was burning. But we hit it so hard with so many things, it would have sank anyway. Um, and then we got this little tiny one. But what's this? Okay, so it's a good one too. So that was a good, actually, yeah, 46. Okay. So that was a good day, I think. I mean, um, a couple of carriers would be even better, but that's, we'll take it. All right. Oh, also, I guess I like to occasionally do this here. Um, Still not showing up those cruisers that we sank, and anyway, they'll disappear shortly off of the last month report anyway. Okay. So let's get into looking at what is going on here. Um, so we're trying to bomb this up, get it up and damage again. It's that's pretty good. We'll probably rest our aircraft for a little bit. Um, Kavieng, I wanted to bomb again, but I think I'm gonna stop bombing the base because we'll just have to repair it anyway. But we can see here, I believe we've already started marching even. Yeah, we had them in move mode. We're starting to march up the island. And now I think we even have, nope, these guys aren't ready to march. There's still some elements there because I want to get as much as I can up there to secure the base. Um, so basically, I'm going to look at it like whatever is these engineers, I might leave back, let it help build up the Namatanai, build up that base. Yeah, for now I'm okay with this. We'll keep unloading, and as soon as these units have their full complement, we'll march them up as well. Well, let's take a look here. We're moving. It's taking us 3 days to move. I guess I could, or 4. I could start moving, but I'll do that. I won't force you to watch me do that. Maybe I'll move some of these, and hopefully they're all unloaded and slip into the next text uh, with the group. We'll see how that works. It may be that there's a mechanic there. If you're moving and you're still unloading, your movement speed is basically 0, but I don't know that as a matter of fact. Um, all right. What else am I thinking? Okay. So, yeah, I mean that pretty much covers this. We are loading up troops at Buna, and I think we're about to load up troops at Port Moresby, and we're gonna come up to Wewak. So we secured this base. Now it's just a matter of I think the tanks are gonna swing around south, and loop and corner these guys. I don't think we need to loop. I think just moving one hex here so that he has no retreat path, and then we can force a surrender here. or bonsai charge, whatever he's got going on. Um, but I don't know why these are all set to fight since the battle is won. But did he leave us with any supplies? Now I don't know if this is supplies we unloaded or if it's supplies that he left at the base when he retreated, or combination, of course. But the damage here is actually, for all the bombardment and everything, that's reasonable damage. Although I don't know how much damage these guys repair on the turn you capture it, but that's a hefty amount of engineers. Plus, we got 71 aviation support. I'm definitely getting some fighters in here this turn, and we could even get some light bombers like Weirways and stuff. But I'll have to look at what we got and figure out what I want to do. Um, but certainly he is spotting. He knows we have stuff here. Obviously, look at that detection. He can see every single ship, every single guy on the ship. 100/2 is nuts. I don't know how that works. But now I'm gonna shift my recon to this base, and we'll start heading there. Just the recon helps us like have a better combat role, as we spot the enemies and know exactly where they are. But again, Kapong, that's something I'm gonna bypass. We got bigger fish to fry up here. Um, and this will give us a great base from which to reach uh, that Kapong could also, but this is just as good. But it's just as good in general. But it's actually better for the things in the northeast that I want to strike, and it may not be necessarily as good for Surabaya, because from Kapong, Surabaya is 18, so heavies would reach that better. However, before I worry about hitting Surabaya, and by the way, you look at the refinery there and it's basically destroyed. It does pump oil still, but the resources resources, oil, heavy industry, refinery, all that is so beat up that he, he's not getting a lot of value out of that base anyway. Um, and plus, I kind of want to, before I bomb these bases along here, I want to secure uh, Kandari, Makassar, um, and like Banjarmasin and things like that. Um, but first things first, we got this. Kandari, I think, is next on our agenda, maybe even before Ambon. But we're gonna have our eyes on both of these. So, yep, looking good. But yeah, I can get some recon here and have a better way to reach these bases looking at them than from way back here at Darwin. So this is a very good victory, and we should hold it for the rest of the war. Okay. Um, enough rambling about that. Heading north to Burma. He still looks like he's retreating. That's fine. We're not going to chase him in here. We'll let him retreat. We're uh, we're securing our positions here. I do want to get these bases built up, um, slowly but surely. I want to get this to 9, and then I can just really stack this base up and smash some things. Okay, let's see. China, I am tempted now to fly a cap over Wuchang. Um, so I might do what I did a few days ago, and instead of capping, my mortar moving in, I'll be capping um, the base itself. But I don't know if he's bouncing around different targets on purpose, to throw me off. But but yeah, it looks like status quo pretty much everywhere. Um, this our recon is terrible. Um, so this he probably still has a unit here. Probably still has a unit here. Well, I thought he had a unit here, but anyway, he probably still has a unit here. Um, but we just can't see it right now. But I should check up here too. We are marching east. Yeah, I'm gonna get to this road and then we're gonna drive down it. Um, hopefully affect his supply negatively. I don't know what this guy's doing. We can spot him, but we don't know which direction he's going. Is he retreating? Is he going southwest? Is he going southeast? Or is he just staying put? I have no idea. But I'm trying to get some more guys into Kung Chang as security in case he decides to come this way and then into here. So because he may have enough recon on me that he sees we have one unit here and he's like he's getting uh, he's salivating over this base, and I would too. This base, if he could take it, these guys would run low on supply, and all this stuff that comes trickling down this road, like oil and fuel and whatnot, would stop. And so this would be either of these two bases, Lanchao or Kungchang, would be huge victories for him. Um, But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Now, as we get closer to the end of May, we'll have a normal video after this one, I think. Who knows? And then for the May 31 turn, what I'll probably do is as I wrap up May 31, I'll probably have that because that's just going to be 1 day's worth of recording, and we'll do like a strategic overview as well as recapping like what's coming into June as far as what's the word, upgrades, aircraft, what kind of um, reinforcements we'll be getting in the near future, things like that. Plus maybe another strategic overview. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Have a good rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye.